Guys, Matt Palmer just put me on a broken chair for this podcast, and he knows that I wiggle and I shake my big juicy booty, and I don't think he was taking me into consideration.
How has the process been since you've been in the chair? It's been fine.
It's been fine, but I might get. We have a lot of topics to talk about.
It's true.
This podcast,
yes.
As you warned the people.
Yes.
And so I'm going to get really excited and heated about that.
Yeah.
And so I might just have my chair collapse. Like what's her name? Goldilocks.
I don't foresee that. It's just, I was putting together some furniture over the weekend, and the chairs, just the top part of them could come off. But if you are weighing it down while being seated, you're not going to have a problem.
Weighing it down. How? What do you mean by that?
Just saying you are a person, you're human size, and so humans will have enough weight.
How dare you call me a human size?
I feel like it would be weird if you weren't as a human.
I weigh as much as Marcel the Shell. Okay.
I don't believe that's true, and I think that's okay. We're body positivity here at 2 Gay Mats. Matt Steele, I don't know if you're on board, if it's 2022 where you live, but it's 2022 where I live.
Listen, I will have to be on board. I will have to learn to love and accept myself at some point.
Someone came in.
But today is not that day.
I feel like someone came in a mood today. I'm getting a lot of emotions from this part of the screen.
I'm in a mood, but I'm a still mood.
Okay,
because
good.
I don't want to fall.
I'm excited for that. For you to either fall or not fall. It'll be great television. We're making a show. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 2 Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
Another week.
Yeah.
This week, actually, there are a lot of dumb news stories to get through, which does not always happen.
And a lot of serious news stories.
There are some. I've just had read the dumb ones, so yes. Oh, there are some serious.
There are
some ones that are serious and like not as fun, but there are fun ones too. So everyone's, buckle up.
It's going to be a hodgepodge. It's going to be a beautiful salad.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Some vegetables that we need to eat, that we need to stomach,
yes.
and then some cranberries
yes.
thrown in there for fun.
Vegetables are nutritious. I feel like it's more like there's some what's like a gross food? What's like slop?
Raw tomatoes.
No, not just for you, for all of us.
This is all about me right now, okay?
Matt Steele, since we're speaking of you.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was very nice.
Yeah.
I had a lovely time. What did I do? I got my hair cut on Friday. Went to
good.
Masood. Masood did a lovely job because I'm going away to New Jersey next week. And and Masood is going out of town for a month. And so I was like, Masood, I'm going to need to get my hair cut in. And he was like, gotcha covered.
Good.
And so I did that. I also went, hung out with our friend Corey on, I believe it was Thursday.
Yeah.
The thing we always do is we always go to a diner and get pastrami and matzo ball soup and maybe see a movie, and which is what we did. But we also went to, in Silver Lake, there's a Philly soft pretzel stand that is only open at certain times. I think it's a pop-up thing.
Okay.
And I am from Trenton, New Jersey. Corey is also from the Philadelphia area, so we are very pro soft pretzel.
Yeah.
And so we went to the soft pretzel place, and we had been talking about going to this place for a long time.
Okay.
And we get there, the woman tells us all about these soft pretzels, and I am ready. I emptied my stomach for days beforehand.
I didn't know about your stomach emptying.
And the woman was giving us the rundown, and I was so excited. And Corey was like, that sounds great. I'll take one. And I was like, one? Bitch, I'm going to take 4. And I was like, how dare you only take 1 and have me take 4?
And these aren't small pretzels,
I know, these are a good size, soft pretzel and everything. You better believe I ate them all
that day?
Oh, that day, that hour. Okay. And that is why the chair is not wiggling, because I am weighing it down.
Well, good. I'm glad you prepped for the podcast. I think that's a great thing.
It was my prep for the podcast.
I think that's lovely.
Yeah, Matt Palmer, what did you do?
Well, Jackson has been out of town this week. He left to visit his brother in Ohio on Tuesday. And so I think I may have slightly overbooked myself, because every night since then, I've felt the need to do something socially or productivity wise, because I've just been okay, I don't want to feel lonely, or I don't want to feel like I, am needing a man to be happy. I can have a full life without.
You do not need no man.
Even just 6 days alone, I have to make sure I fill them up. And so Wednesday, Janie had a birthday dinner, which was very fun, that I went to. Thursday, my friend Joe, he's a linguist, and he works with a native tribe in the area and has written and compiled a dictionary, 800 some odd page dictionary to preserve their language.
Okay.
And just finished that. So we hung out afterwards to celebrate.
I thought you were about to say, so I read that while Jackson was gone. And I was just wow.
You think read a dictionary, any language from cover to cover.
I mean, you're a supportive friend. If I wrote a dictionary, you better believe it, and you better be reading that, and you better be reviewing it on 2Game.
Oh my, okay. Well, luckily that won't happen, so we don't have to cross that bridge because we'll never get there. Then Friday, what did I do? We went and we tried to throw pottery or throw clay. I don't know the phrasing. Basically, Joe, the same friend who wrote the dictionary, does pottery and like the pottery making and ceramics kind of things. And he was like, I want to teach you guys who like are not as experienced and have this class. And so I went, not really imagining what the process of making these things would be like. It was more just like, oh my God, then I won't have to go to West Elm. I'll have a bowl that like is pretty and like I can design myself. But the whole thing is like the clay, and once you get it wet and like have to touch it, it's like mud. It's like you're touching.
Yeah, what do you think it is?
And I kept looking around and like my hands were really dirty.
I don't like my hands being dirty.
I literally had clay drying on my thighs, and I'm like, this is not for me. I'm not a handy person.
Were you dressed
general.
appropriately?
I was, but even still, just the feeling of something. Like, I don't even like when I'm making like a turkey burger to do the squeezing of the turkey with like the egg. Like, it's just not.
And then like having to like, oh, I know I have to touch something else later. When I was a little kid, like, you know how like everyone's like, oh, little kids love getting messy. I was never that
Me neither.
kid. Not that kid.
I mean, shock. These two gay people like to remain neat.
I was always just like,
So I tried to make one bowl. It kind of folded in on itself. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the supportive picture taker. And like supportive person that's like, oh, all of you all are doing beautiful work and I'm so impressed and proud of you. Let me go get a shrimp bowl because it's dinner time. I'll be back.
Let me go get a shrimp bowl. Wait, but didn't you like pay for that mound of clay that you...
I think we are paying and I'm happy to pay. It just was just so like it's just not for me. Like the people are built for certain things.
That you're willing to eat that money?
Yes. Because it was a time with friends. I could see Joe in his element. There was a lot that I could gain from it besides the clay that happened.
And I bet that clay place was just like a score. We got that money, but we didn't have to use up that clay.
We were all there, and like people, we were lucky to have Joe around that was like very much a member, but people were like, we're actually like kind of closing. Are you guys members here? And Joe was very nicely like, I'm the member, I'm the teacher, like leave them alone. But I was like, it was like kind of intense in there. Everyone had their headphones in, so we weren't bothering them, but like, were we like drinking and eating in the back? Yeah. So I don't know if they loved us.
Listen, arts and crafts people are intense human beings.
I learned that.
My brother is one.
Really?
And when I was a child during the summers, he would always have like, because you know, we would spend our summers together in the house with nothing to do. Our grandparents would watch us and everything. Yeah. We would always have a craft every single day for us to do until when I realized I hate arts and crafts.
There you go.
And he was just like, you're doing it anyway. And I was like, ah.
I don't know that if it was not messy, I think I could have gotten into it. The mess is what I don't like. Okay, so Saturday, what did I do? Oh, Saturday I met with my friend Rory and we were like just going to like, I'm going to be putting out a song Hurricane at some point. So it's like, I need shit for my socials. So we took some pictures and it was fun. Did that, went to the beach. And then this morning, I went to Outfest to see the premiere of a film called Art and Pep, which is a documentary about this couple in Chicago. They have been together, I think 40 years, these two guys. And they opened a gay bar together in Chicago called Sidetrack. And Pep has been like the VJ for it, like one of the first video bars in the country, like that plays music. He was like, came up with the idea of Musical Mondays at gay bars.
Oh, damn.
Like he's a big fucking deal. And then his husband, Art, is like a huge activist pushing for gay rights and like got more funding to go towards AIDS funding in like the 80s when the epidemic was huge and, you know, pushed for Illinois gay marriage. They just are an amazing couple. It was an amazing documentary directed by Mercedes Kane. She did a beautiful job. And she so kindly reached out to me when she was making the film and was like, hey, we were looking for music from LGBT artists. And I found the song of yours called Used to the Dark. And I think it would be great as, you know, like the song in the credits for this, you know, film. Like, here's the trailer. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. And so it was so lovely to be there to see the film all together and to hear Used to the Dark playing at the end. And she even got up and like was thanking people who like worked on the film and said me. And I was like, I guess like you used my song in the film, but I don't know that I'd count as working on the film. You
worked on the film. I count you as working on film.
It was very kind. And I just am so, everyone go to @ArtandPep on Instagram at the very least. It's a beautiful, beautiful love story and a love story about like how much they've done for their community and their time on earth. I don't know. It just was very inspiring and I can't recommend it enough. Hopefully it'll be on a streaming service near you very soon.
Matt Palmer, if anything, knows how to write a finale of a film. Okay? This is the second song of yours that has been used to close some cinema.
That is true.
Art and Pep, and also Devo's available now. So, like,
you should rename the film
Devo's available now. Oh, that's absolutely what the film is called now.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we? And then after that, I was so tired that I just took a nap, which I don't do normally, especially on days where I have to do something later, and got something to eat, and now we're here.
And now we're here.
Should we jump into the news? We have a lot for all that rambling.
We have a lot.
Did.
It's coming.
All right. So, Jennifer Lopez got married.
That's good news.
That's good news.
That's a delicious cranberry in the salad.
It is. And she and Ben Affleck got married in Las Vegas. I guess she wore a dress that she had worn in a previous film, and he just wore a suit in his closet. Their 5 combined kids were there, and they got married at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Vegas with 4 other couples at 12:30 a.m. today. She described the wedding as the best possible wedding we could have imagined.
Wait, with 4 other couples?
Yes.
Could you imagine being one of those couples?
That's the
and being
thing.
like, hi.
I believe one of them is a gay couple too.
Oh my God. And they were just like, hi.
We got to get them on the pod. Like, I have to know what happened there, what that was like, because, they wrote their own vows, the new Jennifer Lynn Affleck. And it's like, are we going with JF? I'm sure someone has said that, but it feels like that's what we might be doing. And also, the fact is, this all began because when Jennifer Lopez was with A-Rod, Madison from Southern Charm openly was like, yeah, A-Rod flirts with me via FaceTime. And that's what started the downfall of their relationship. And now she's a married woman.
Thank you, Madison.
Thank you,
Not
Madison.
only did you make J-Lo and Ben Affleck's day, you made 4 other couples' day even brighter because they got to get married with Bennifer.
It's true. And I'm sorry, I jumped into that just because that was the latest news. But I would say the biggest news of the week, well, there's so many big pieces of news.
Biggest happy news?
Biggest happy news. The Emmy nominations came out, Emmys 2022, and there were a lot of great things. I was so happy to see. I believe Succession got like 15 nominations, and there was a lot of nominations for Abbott Elementary. I was so excited.
Abbott Elementary. White Lotus got about 15 nominations in supporting actress.
Exactly. I guess I have to see White Lotus, but there's just so many actors, actresses there. I see Squid Game, Stranger Things, some Killing Eve, some Ozarks. Zendaya and Reese Witherspoon are both in the lead actress in a drama category. Exciting stuff. But I have to say,
what do you not see?
You don't see any nominations. For This Is Us. I do actually think there's like a music nomination that Mandy Moore's husband is nominated for because she brought him in to like help write a song. But Mandy's performance on This Is Us, I have been squawking about for so long on this podcast, this season especially. So it just truly breaks my heart that she was not nominated. I'm sure she's taking on the chin. They got nominated for like different TV awards, but like I wanted the Emmy for her.
I know it's hard. It's
hard.
It's a bitter pill to swallow. But the thing that's kind of crappy about, or not crappy, but kind of weird about the Emmys is it's like how like good like feelings about a certain show can go downhill so quickly.
Right.
Like it's so like Ted Lasso a year ago, everyone was like, oh, I love Ted Lasso. Yes,
Right.
it got all these Emmy nominations. It got all these Emmy nominations. And then when these Emmy nominations came out, it seems like a lot of people in the Twitter sphere, social media are just like, oh, and of course they had to give Ted Lasso a bunch of stuff. It's just like, wait a minute, I thought we liked Ted Lasso.
I
Like,
know.
Like, it's just so interesting how like the tides can turn on a show in a second. And that is why I really love the Oscars, because it's like one and done.
That's true. You don't have to be in it for as long. I was excited to see Issa Rae nominated for Insecure, but thought the show itself could have gotten nominated. Would have loved that. But there are lots of nominations that people are very happy about. And I feel like 2 Abbott Elementary members, Tyler James Williams and Cheryl Lee Ralph, nominated. I think those are 2. It just because
The original Dina.
The original
Dina Jones.
And she, I don't know if she has ever had an Emmy nomination, and I don't believe he has before, and he was on Everybody Hates Chris since the dawn of time. So it's just so exciting to see them get their flowers from a show that's so incredible. I've been watching it again over this week, and I'm just like, man, in just 13 episodes, I feel so warm and fuzzy inside. So,
well, this time next year, people will be like, oh, Abbott Elementary, of course.
Even say it.
Of course, it's like so because I think of like Modern Family, how everyone was so excited about Modern Family when it started, and then after like its years long bout for winning Best Comedy over and over again, people by the end were just like, oh, and of course Modern Family gets another Emmy.
There are exceptions though. Like I feel like I'm also rewatching Veep at the moment, and I don't think people. I mean, as annoying as it was, as a person who loved 30 Rock, to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus always win in that category, no one's saying Veep got bad. Like no one turned on Veep during its run. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that Abbott Elementary has the same luck.
Yes.
I I guess we have to go into a weird part of the podcast because some weird stuff happened this week. I'm just going to do a general trigger warning if this is about abuse and incest, and there are sadly more than one story about this. So fast forward if you do not want to hear about it, but just want to give you a heads up. It came out this past week that Ricky Martin's nephew is claiming domestic violence and incest against him. Ricky is reportedly facing 50 years behind bars in his domestic violence case, where the alleged victim is his 21-year-old nephew. The nephew alleges that he ended a 7-month relationship with Ricky. Ricky allegedly did not take it well, continuing to contact his nephew, showing up at his nephew's house. Ricky Martin has an open marriage. Not sure whether it was, not sure if it happened during this marriage beforehand, but it just is truly dark stuff.
I mean, when you said probably like 2 weeks ago in the podcast that there are some rumors that Ricky Martin has done something that's about to come out.
Yes.
I don't think anyone predicted it would be anything like that. Like, that is a lot. It's a lot to swallow, and it's very hard to read.
Yes.
Obviously, Ricky Martin denies it. I believe he said that his nephew suffers from mental illness, and so I don't know what to make of something like that. It's so much.
It's one of those things where you hope that it's a lie just because of the darkness of the story and the trauma that would be inflicted upon this person if it were true. But you also have a part of you that's like, well, I also believe victims, and believe people when they say they've gone through things. So the reason that I am hopeful that this is not true is because it just really would sicken my soul if it were. Like, it's just, there are so many people in the world. There are so many men Ricky Martin could be with if he want, and if he's in this open relationship, so many people that are available to him. Let's avoid children or people that much younger than you. Because even though 21 is of age, it's still like the power dynamic makes no sense when you are Ricky Martin's age. And then also just not people in your family. Like,
yeah, and I hope that whatever truth there is comes out.
Yes. I hope that as well.
I think that's the only thing any of us can hope for.
I'm sure it will. A second story on this topic, again, if you are triggered by this kind of thing, fast forward. Elon Musk's father, has impregnated his stepdaughter. This is his second child with his 35-year-old stepdaughter who he's raised since he was 4. This man is 76.
How old's the stepdaughter?
35.
Okay. So is this a consensual relationship?
It's a consensual relationship, but it's weird. But it's weird. I mean, Woody Allen comes to mind.
I mean, rich people do weird things.
They do.
Rich people get very, very, very bored.
I just can't imagine the thought process of raising a human being since they were like that young and being like, oh, let's get married.
Well, and even like the thing with the Woody Allen, it's like he didn't raise her at all.
Right.
Like, he said that. I think they said that they only like met once when she was underage, like even everything. But this is like raising from how old you said?
4.
Whew.
Woof.
It's
roof stoof, guys. And we just got to get off the topic. We had to touch on it because it would be ridiculous if we didn't. I feel like there'll be discussions about especially the Ricky story for a minute. So that's what's going on if you wanted to know that news. And more, I guess not technically happy news, but happy in comparison. You all must go to the Daily Beast as soon as possible to read the article, the inside story about the Beanie Feldstein, Leah Michelle funny girl drama.
The fact that the journalism of the year came from not the New York Times, not the Post, but from the Daily Beast. The fact that everyone was talking about this article.
If it's like, honestly, I would never pay for like an article, but if you've somehow used up all your Daily Beast tokens for the month, you gotta buy it. You gotta buy this art. It's unreal. It's like so many. It's just basically a timeline of how this happened. The fact that Leah Michelle being the replacement leaked, how Beanie didn't feel supported during the show because when her understudy would go on, she would promote it. And the understudy was getting such rave reviews on Twitter versus Beanie's performance. And it's heartbreaking, and the fact that she cut off communication with the producers after that article came out.
It's like after the Gawker article came out that Leah was rumored.
Yes.
Beanie cut all communication with the producers, and everything had to go through representation after that. And did you see the Instagram or I guess TikTok or something that Beanie
No.
posted the video?
No.
She posted, she's like, hey guys, so I just got back from the ear, nose, and throat doctor and I have tonsillitis. And I'm feeling, I think she said she's feeling okay, but she says that it's contagious. So she has to take the next couple days off. And she's just like, when it rains, it pours. Like, and she's just like,
Poor girl.
you just have to laugh at this point. And so I'm wishing that girl strength
I am
for her
too.
final performances. I
Yes.
believe she's done July 31st is her last performance.
Do you think she's already done her last performance?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
she'll come back.
All right.
Because the audience will be supporting her. It'll be
Yes.
a good moment to hear those cheers and hear everyone. And, she wants to, be there for her cast and everything before it goes through, changes. So
Yes.
it's
It's
hard out
just,
there.
and we talked about, if you're on the Discord, if you're a patron, you have to get on the Discord because there's a lot of discussion about this. And I really did land on, I blame the producers or whoever cast her in the first place. Like, you knew that she was going to be compared so closely to Barbara Streisand, which is an insane comparison, sure. But if you knew she couldn't do what people were expecting of that part, you kind of just set her up to fail a little bit, in my opinion. And then this whole Lea Michele thing just feels gross. And it's like, I don't know how it could have been handled better besides like if she was just not a part of this conversation at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Lea Michele thing is very, especially because of how bad that press was around
Yes.
Lea Michele. Like, I thought it would take a long time for Lea Michele to get roles, period, let
Right.
alone like the headliner in Funny Girl on Broadway.
Which is why it's like, I never want to hear about cancel culture again. It's not real. It's only real in one case, which we'll get to in this topics, but otherwise, no, it's not real. Everyone's going to be fine and get jobs and, star in a Broadway show. All right.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's kind of like, did the producers not think like, hey, there's got to be someone else out there who can, because it's like, Lea Michele is a big name and
Yes.
everything, and I'm sure she'll, ticket prices will go up and everything, and she's obviously very talented,
Yes.
but like, so are other people, and there are more famous other people. There's got to be a more famous Jewish girl who can really, really sing.
But would they garner I feel like the splashiness of this casting is part of the appeal for them. And they saw people's reactions to her when she popped up on the Tonys and they were not overwhelmingly negative. And so
True.
it's like, let's just do it. It's going to make a lot of headlines. It'll get a lot of attention on our show. And speaking of the shows, wait, what happened with, what is the show? Paradise something?
Oh, Paradise Square. I don't know the specific details, but
Okay.
it seems like Actors Equity is fighting the producers for
unpaid salaries.
Unpaid salaries, and there's another union within the company that is also fighting. I don't know, lighting. I don't know, but another union is also fighting the producers because they were not paid their salaries.
That's so fucked
I
up.
did not read those articles because
Yeah.
I was too entrenched in the Leah
Of course.
Beanie
Of course.
stuff, and I was like, "There's only room for one Broadway scandal this week."
Right.
So my brain can't handle that. But yeah, I do know something is going on with that. And I believe Paradise Square is closing today.
Oh, it's today. I knew it was
Yes.
closing. I didn't know it
Yes.
was today.
So I hope everybody gets paid.
I know. I saw that producer or some producer is like on a note, do not work with list.
Yes. And I'm in equity, so now I can't work for that
Oh,
producer.
done.
I mean, they're not hiring me anyway. So
The Chromatica Ball, Lady Gaga's very delayed tour, has opened in Dusseldorf, Germany tonight. It stretches through the middle of September. The set list opens with Bad Romance, which I was surprised by.
I know. And did you see that video of her doing Bad Romance?
I did.
In the robot?
Amazing.
Crazy.
Amazing. I was so excited about that. It just opens so hard. It's like Bad Romance, Just Dance, Poker Face. 3 songs that I think could have been the encore. I love that she does Monster. Of course, there's a lot of Chromatica, Alice, Replay, 911, Sour Candy. I love she does Monster. I think that's a really cool addition. Babylon must be amazing. She does Born This Way on piano and studio. There's a little, I guess there's kind of like a piano moment when Born This Way, Shallow, Always Remember Us This Way, and The Edge of Glory acoustic.
Okay.
The only thing that I would say about this set list is the encore being Hold My Hand is insane. Is insane.
You got to promote the things. You got to promote the things.
This is like when I went to see Robin and she didn't make Dancing on My Own the encore, and it was a song that none of us knew as the encore. And I'm like, what is this order? Like, I should be my most excited at this very moment, and I'm not.
Well, I think what's most egregious is Plastic Doll is not in there.
That is also upsetting.
Like, that's one of the best songs on Chromatica, and
Absolutely.
absolutely the best song on Dawn of Chromatica.
Yes. I agree. There are some, so we would switch things around, but overall the stage looks really cool.
Oh, I read a thing that's inspired by like brutalist architecture and everything. And it's like, what an interesting, weird concept.
Right.
Like, it's so like, and don't take this the wrong way, but like ugly, but cool. Cause it's, like brutalist architecture is like very like concrete and like, ugh. And so it's really interesting to have that as your idea for a concert and everything.
Right.
I love it.
It kind of looked, I feel like Born This Way tour from what I've seen was more medieval, but it still had that gray and kind of harsh feel to it. So it kind of harkens back to that. If she can't do anything, she can perform her ass off. So
I'm watching those videos of her in Germany just dancing and I'm just like, yes.
I love it.
Gaga,
I
yes.
know. And she was on Instagram Live and said something about like, and this is the first time in like as long as I can remember that I am not feeling pain when I am performing on stage again, because I know she had that battle with chronic pain and illnesses and things, and so I love that she's at top tier health wise, and I feel like this tour is going to make a lot of people happy. Hopefully, someone's getting on video, HBO, Netflix. We'd want to see it.
Oh, we want to see it. Oh, what did she get done? Like some acupuncture, some chiropractor.
I will have to rewatch Gaga 5'2". I don't remember, but I feel like she was doing it all, and I was so distracted by how hot Mark Ronson is. Okay. I don't remember what she was saying.
All right.
She did speak to that.
We'll watch again and see her methods and make sure that after I make this chair collapse and I break the joints of my body, I'll know where to go.
You will know where to
Lady
go.
Gaga's doctor. I'm sure very inexpensive.
It's true. It's true. And speaking of people being canceled, Armie Hammer is working at a timeshare. He's selling timeshares at a hotel in the Caymans. Prior to working as a timeshare salesman, he was managing an apartment complex. So of everyone who's ever been canceled, the only one who seems like is being hit for a long period of time, long enough that like he has to find different streams of income, is Armie Hammer. And I believe this was leaked. Like there was a photo, like someone was like, my mom is at this at this hotel and trying to be sold a timeshare, and Armie Hammer is the salesperson. Then it got like debunked by Variety. And then like a few days later, like, oh no, actually it's true. And it's like, whoa.
That is crazy.
I mean,
how's he broke? Didn't he come from like a very wealthy
He did. Family? He came from a family money, but I don't know if like he's been cut off from them or like if he's not in some wills or something, because he is working for that dollar, which, you got to work. There's nothing to look down upon work-wise.
Hey,
but
I worked today on a Sunday.
I did not, but I work tomorrow. And I have to get up early. My work starts at 8:30 tomorrow.
Oh, gross.
That's earlier for me.
Don't do it. Just quit.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Just quit.
It's just so rare to see someone be canceled. And it's like, this person did some weird stuff, like with the like cannibalism and all. So, I think he will live a happy, and he's still a very attractive cis white man. Like his life's not going to be the hardest thing in the world. And if this is the like recuperation he needs, the thing is, especially because he's a man, I would bet you in 10 years he'll be back in movies.
After Leah leaves Funny Girl, Armie Hammer is joining that stage, warming up his vocals, singing I'm the Greatest Star and People and Don't Rain on My Parade, and the music that makes me dance.
I can't wait to
hear that.
When did theater become the messiest medium? Like, we are holding Housewives to higher standards than y'all are. What's going on?
I don't know. It's an interesting era for theater, I guess. But hey, they got to do something to stay afloat. But the pandemic hit Broadway really hard, so might as well throw some scandals in there to help it recoup. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, lastly, one more thing I want to talk about is Sabrina Carpenter put out her album, which is, I forgot what the album is called, but because
the emails I can't send.
Yeah, the emails I can send. The song, Because I Like to Boy. If you have not heard this song, run, don't walk, listen to it as soon as you're done with this podcast, finish this all the way through. But then listen to that fucking song because it's a classic. It's amazing. But if you listen to the album, it's so much of it has a Julia Michaels-esque sound because Julia Michaels wrote on so many of the songs. And then I guess there was a fan account just like reviewing the album on Twitter and like going song by song, and she did write Julia Michaels' name and didn't put like stars in any of the vowels like we like to do when we're talking shit on the internet, and said something about like talking about some song on the album was like, God, I fucking hate Julia Michaels' writing style, but then would go through different songs and be like, oh my God, I love this. Oh my God, I love this. And then when she would say the I loves this, Julia Michaels kept responding, but I thought you fucking hated my writing style. Yeah. I wrote all this fucking songs. Yeah. I'm like,
you liked this? Well, guess what? I wrote on all of these songs that you like and everything.
Exactly. And it's like, Julia, stop. You have too much money for this. Like, you are a wealthy woman who has to prove nothing to anyone. Your songs are fucking bangers.
Because you are like the songwriter of this time.
Absolutely.
Like the pop songwriter of this time.
So if this lonely stan like says something rude, you gotta ignore it. As someone who people get mad at us in our comments a lot, and I feel like we have gotten better about ignoring it over the years. And Julie, you gotta get with that, because arguing on the internet will never end. Well, she has since deactivated her Twitter.
Listen, Julia Michaels wants to create a scandal because she knows they're going to be looking for a Fanny Brice replacement on Broadway.
So Julia's up. Who's first, Julia or Armie Hammer?
Oh, I don't know. They're going to have to battle to the death for it.
They will have to do it. So wait, are there any other news stories you wanted to discuss today? I have a couple more here, but I don't know how important they are.
Maybe throw one at me and we'll see how important it is.
Constance Wu is back on social media.
I saw that. That's sad.
It's sad. But we wish her well. Yeah. And, you know, my thought in general about if it's fair to make fun of a celebrity on the internet if they've done something silly, don't tag them. Don't go in their comments. Don't like go to their social media. That to me is bullying. Yeah. For us to, because I'm sure we made some jokes about Constance Wu when because basically what happened is her show Fresh Off the Boat got renewed, and she was like, oh, fuck, essentially. Like, she made it very clear that she didn't want that to happen. We thought it was funny. We said some things. But
because it was kind of funny.
It was funny.
The reaction was funny.
But to target a person and go to their social media that you know they're getting pinged and notifications about, like, I didn't know she was getting DMs from other Asian American actresses being like, you're a blight on our community and stuff.
That's horrible. Like, come on. Like, the thing is, like, we were like, oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because she was expressing herself in a way you don't necessarily always see celebrities expressing themselves and everything. But there were people who were just like really digging into her, being like, she's like so evil and horrible and everything. How dare she? And it's just like, guys, calm down. This doesn't affect you.
I know.
Like, come on. Like, get a life.
I know. And so that is kind of my line. It's like, even if someone does things that I don't like, of course, on the podcast that is between us, I will be expressing that. I'm not going to at a celebrity. I'm not going to get in their mentions. I'm not going to get in their Instagram comments, because like that to me is fully bullying, and like I don't think we need that. Even if they're horrible, just disengage. Like, it's like, you know, people we don't talk about in this podcast. We don't talk about them for a reason, because they will go away if you stop engaging with them. Like, so you writing like, I hate you, and it's just like, that's bullying and rude and does nothing for anybody.
And she didn't do anything to warrant that in the slightest.
She just was like, she had a big ridiculous reaction, and like she was a little thoughtless about the other people working on the show who were happy to still have a job. But yeah, she didn't like.
Aren't we all? Like, aren't we all? Like, we, as I said last week, like, people on Twitter like should not be throwing stones. Like, literally, all their accounts basically just trash other people because they have to spew out their opinions, and so everyone looks bad. Everyone just looks bad.
It's true, and it's just like, just don't bully people on the internet, even if they're celebrities. Also, Ivana Trump passed away.
That is sad.
That is sad. So sad for her and people who love her. And then Britney was singing Hit Me Baby One More Time on her Instagram, and really full-throatedly, like doing a different version of it. And she threw a fuck in there. And
great. Where did she throw that fuck in?
Fucking Hit Me Baby One More Time. I don't remember.
Let's
something
get the
like
remix
that.
Going.
And that, of course, the caption was about the remix. She's never been more pissed, I believe, than when those girls at like Radio Disney Awards or something, those girls did that medley of remixes of her songs, and Jamie Lynn did one of them. She has referenced that in like 90% of the posts that we have seen. And it's like, I didn't think that was that bad. I guess it was annoying because she had requested, like, I'd like to perform remixes of these songs because I want them to have a new life and for me not to be fucking bored on stage and no one would listen to her. But it was a tribute. They meant well. She's like, they didn't even try to dance. It was like, damn, Britney, Jesus. So hey, well, I love her. Love her. She's singing her face off. Is there any other news we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
I don't believe so. I guess to go back to the Lady Gaga thing, I saw in our live chat, people, or I'm upset that there are no art pop songs.
That is upsetting.
In the set list of the Chromatica Ball.
And you know how we feel about art pop.
You know we love art pop forever and always. And on the Joanne tour, when I saw it, she at least did applause, and I was still just like, where's Aura? Thank you. But I was like, you know what? At least we got applause. But no,
It is
nothing.
wild she didn't do applause. Applause was a hit.
Applause was the first single off of Art Pop. Like,
Great
you would
song.
think she would do the first single off of all the albums.
Yes, justice for Art Pop.
Justice for Art
We
Pop.
have a video about that, so.
It all ends. We could talk about everything that runs the gamut.
Yes.
To Army Hammer playing Fanny Dice. And we will always end a segment with Justice for Art Pop.
Exactly, because that's what's important. All right, so let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye. Or not bye. We'll be back.
Girl, we're back.
He was stretching. All right, so we are back onto Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at twogaymats@gmail.com, two spelled TWO.
Yes.
Or if you are watching this on YouTube, you can comment below with a question. Or if you join us in the YouTube chat, maybe we'll be like, hey, we only got one email this week. What's an email? What's like a question we can answer? Maybe your question could be the lucky question, ladies and gentlemen.
True.
So the first email that we got was from our good pal Durga. Durga, y'all need to promo. Hey, Matt, two quick things today. One, you need to promo the Two Gay Mats Listening Party podcast more. I've been listening to your episodes in order from the start and heard about it in one as an Evermore stan. Listening to your reaction was great.
Oh, yay.
So that the first part wasn't really a question. It was more like a quick scold because we haven't done a listening party podcast in a while.
We haven't. I'm going to put it together for the Beyonce album. So it'll be the video, it'll be the listening party and all of it. And I must say, there are many channels in which we put things out. There are a lot.
It's a lot.
We try to make, reels of things. It's a lot to promo.
So
we both work a lot.
So
as
what
well.
you are saying, though, is that Beyonce's album Renaissance will also be the renaissance of the listening party.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Guys, July 29th, everything is happening.
It's true.
Okay, so the actual question from Durga says,
Yes.
Quick question. Are you planning on watching Where the Crawdad Sings? Have you seen it already? Are you planning on watching it?
I actually don't know much about I think I hear ads when I'm listening to podcasts I like. I hear ads for the film. And I also know that Taylor Swift did Carolina for the...
Carolina.
I'll never get it right.
You're from the South. You should know how to pronounce Carolina.
From...
Carolina, that's what it's called.
From the soundtrack. I do not... I only watch so few movies that so you got to be Marcel the Shell level to really get me. And it's I need something like cuteness or a Sonic or something really fun or emotional. I just the Crawdads moment. I don't know if it's for me because I feel like there's a story about how someone dies or something and they look into the death or how this woman knew the person who died, but they think that she killed him and he didn't. That's what I'm getting from, again, the ads on the podcast I listen to. And that didn't really speak to me.
Okay.
Are you planning on seeing it?
If I am in the situation and someone's like, let's turn it on, I'll be like, let's do it.
You're not going to make a day of it.
I don't know if I'll make a day of it.
You're not going to the movies getting 8 pretzels.
I will be getting 8 pretzels, but I might not be seeing this
That's
movie.
fair.
But I'm not opposed to it.
Yes.
It might happen, Durga. And I'm sure I'll enjoy it. It's getting people are liking it, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's great.
So we'll see.
We will see.
We will see.
All right. And then our second Email My Heart question came from Dr. Woods, our friend and patron. And she writes, Email My Heart, do you find yourselves consuming music and movies differently now that you are influencers? That later elaborate.
Influencers should be in quotes, guys.
Absolutely, it should be. That later elaborate on your pop culture opinions. The actual consumption of music that we don't plan on reviewing is easier than when you were listening to something knowing that we're about to talk about it. I know Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen back to front, but when it's we're doing a patron requested video, we're reviewing this thing and I need to make sure I get my thoughts together. Yeah. And I think of it as such a one piece and we go track by track. Mm-hmm. So it just makes me I have to take more mental notes as I'm listening or watching something if I know we're going to be talking about it in depth.
I have to listen to the album twice, and then I need to read along to the lyrics and everything. Depending on the Carly Rae Jepsen Emotion. It's kind of I get the lyrics right away and I get
totally.
But another artist, sort of a Christine and the Queens or Bjork. We got to look at those lyrics and be okay, what were they going for here? Let me read the Wikipedia page and everything. Let me do my research so I have something to talk about.
Right.
So as far as the patron request album reviews go, definitely changed how I listen to albums. But I will say whenever something new is about to come out or whenever I see a movie, I'm always oh, this is a chance for me to talk about something on the podcast.
Yes.
Because I have to have it giving me moments and everything.
Yes, it's true.
So what am I going to talk about? So It is like a little bit of homework that I know I have to do, but it's good homework because it kind of makes me have to solidify an opinion.
Yes.
Not necessarily solidify an opinion because Lord knows I'm wishy-washy as fuck on this podcast, but like it makes you really think about what you are going to say. It makes you look out for specific things.
Right.
And you're like, what's my opinion on this? Let me think about it.
And you have to kind of analyze your feeling. It's like, I love this song, but then it's like, why?
Why am I feeling this way?
Yes.
How does this maybe trigger something in my childhood that we can go through?
I didn't know it was that kind of moment.
That we can go through on the podcast and maybe, because Lord knows I'm not paying for therapy. So we could have a therapy moment on the Two Gay Mats podcast.
It could happen. I think, honestly, the easiest ones to do this are, I liked when we did like the Charlie XCX listen through, or like when we do the Beyonce Renaissance live reaction. We are going to listen through the album together, and like it'll be easier to be like, I just heard this song. Let me talk exactly about what I loved about it. Because it's always the thinking back to the song. I'm like, oh wait, what was track 9? Which one was track 9? So when we do that Beyonce Renaissance live stream, it will be very easy for me. Those are the easiest, but they're also the hardest to edit and like get uploaded and do all.
But also the hard thing about those is your immediate reaction to song, like when we do our reaction reviews and everything, that's sometimes hard because your immediate reaction is sometimes just like, oh, maybe I don't like this, or maybe I really, really like this. And then as time goes on, you're just like, oh, wait, no, I was completely wrong.
Right.
I actually love this thing that I originally didn't love that much. Or like, oh, actually, this thing is not as good as I thought it was. Like, you're just like excited in the moment.
I think you're allowed to evolve in your opinion. Like, I feel like.
Sure, but the people in the comments do not let you evolve.
They don't. But on my Into You reaction, I said it was fine or good or like had problems with the production, and it's a perfect pop song. Like there's no notes to Into You by Ariana Grande. And I just wrote another comment like, by the way, I love it. I have no notes. Every note I had here is irrelevant. Queen. There
was that Camila Cabello song that we did.
Yes.
We did the review to when she did Real Friends.
Yes.
And we listened to it the first time. We were like, this is nice. This is like, cute and everything.
Yes.
And then in the middle of me editing that video, Matt Palmer just comes out of his room and he's just like, I've been listening to that song Real Friends more. And I was like, I've been listening to it more too.
It's
and
great.
we were both just like, it's so fucking great. Let's go back on camera. And there's like an epilogue in that episode. I think that's so funny that we did that.
It is funny, and it's, not to bring it down, sad we can't do it anymore since we don't live together.
I know, exactly. It's like once the video's done, it is done. I'm in my car.
We're across town.
We are across town.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
So Matt Steele.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
So speaking of movies, darling,
yes.
I told you I ate my pretzels and I saw a movie.
Yes.
I finally saw Elvis by Baz Luhrmann, which I told y'all I was seeing.
Yes.
And I was very excited because it's Baz Luhrmann, which it can go in all which ways.
Yes.
Like because there's always a lot happening in a Baz Luhrmann movie, and that is exactly the case for Elvis, but it is all going in great ways. I feel this movie is so good. It's it's so interesting because I would never have pegged like Baz Luhrmann to be the person to direct the Elvis biopic. Like it just doesn't seem like his aesthetic to me is more like pre-1950. I was even shocked that he did The Great Gatsby, but to me he feels like more like historic than that. But the fact that he was able to touch on like the 50s, 60s, and into the 70s so well in his very specific, unique way was so interesting. It's just like, it's 2.5 hours, but it's just like go, 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 go. You are never bored. You are always involved. The performances are so good. Like Tom Hanks rarely gives us camp because, he's like America's sweetheart.
Right.
He's like the Julia Roberts of male actors, like sort of. And so he rarely just gives us like a fucking crazy character, and he is giving it here, and I love it.
Oh, you loved it? Because I feel like I'd heard most of the detraction from the film.
It's fucking great. Shut up. Like it's just like he's on screen and you're just like, what? I love it. Like it's so bizarre. He plays Elvis's manager, who's like a guy from Holland, I believe, and he's like this gambler, and you can tell he's robbing Elvis of like all his money and everything, and he's just so creepy and slimy and weird. It's really great. It fits in with the movie so well. And Austin Butler is fucking excellent.
Wow.
Like the thing with movies that are always like very visually stimulating is sometimes I feel like with movies like this, you don't really get to know the characters that well because it's all about the visual and the energy and everything, which is great and everything, but I wouldn't call them like actor forward movies or like character forward movies. And so I was kind of anticipating that with this movie, but Austin Butler really does ring out like all the humanity that you can find in Elvis in this very, very visual and eclectic style that Baz Luhrmann does. And so I think that is so impressive. His like music performances are really fucking excellent.
Wow.
Like especially at the end, when he's at a piano singing and everything, and I'm just like really moved by how he interprets the song as himself and as Elvis. Like really, really, really great. Like really, really great. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. Also, Big Brother this week is a mess. I loved it.
Do you think I would like the Elvis movie?
I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
I think you'd have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not as like punch you in the face craziness as like a Moulin Rouge.
Right.
is.
Right.
Did you see The Great Gatsby?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say it's even the movie starts off very hectic. In Elvis, and then it sort of like evens out a little bit by the end and everything.
Totally.
So I think you'd enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, and I loved musically what they did with they sort of mixed like 50s music with like modern day like hip hop and everything, and put that in the soundtrack of the movie. It was just really cool. Yeah, all aspects of it, visually, sonically, performance-wise, were really great.
Elvis stan over here.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
Right. Well, for me, I just have to say, New Music Friday was the best it's been in a long time for me. Like, you know me, as someone who is like very much a millennial, you get stuck on loop listening to TLC and like 90s Mariah, and you don't jump into the new stuff as easily. But this week really showed me like maybe I really need to get to do it because, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, this Emails I Can't Send album by Sabrina Carpenter, I love all of it. All of it is great. I need to dive into all of it a little deeper. But the track, Because I Liked a Boy,
oh my God,
is so beyond fantastic. And it's like one of those things where, yes, we have heard now so many different angles of this love triangle between Olivia Rodrigo, Joshua Bassett, and Sabrina Carpenter. But her song isn't even really about the relationship. It's about the crazy backlash that she received. And it's like, is there a chorus that I'm going to like more than one that begins, now I'm a homewrecker, I'm a slut?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just so like fitting for, I don't know, just like the times we're living in now and everything. And what we were just talking about with like constant swoon and everything.
Yes.
And dare I say a little bit of like the stuff that's going on with Big Brother right now. It's just it's like
the bullying.
There's no, like with like the fans of Big Brother.
Oh, I
and, like,
see.
And it's just like, guys, like, you don't know these people. Like you can think like Sabrina Carpenter did all this stuff like because she's painted in this light as if she like did it on purpose and everything, and it's like she liked a boy.
Yeah, like that's all that happened.
And was she like, I guess like, but the thing is, did Joshua Bassett cheat on Olivia?
That's been unclear. He didn't
cheat, but he's still a traitor.
Yes, you know.
I forgot. Okay, so he didn't cheat and everything.
But then my favorite line in the whole song is when she goes, when all of this went down, we'd already broken up. So everything about this, everything you're getting mad and like getting in my comments about is completely irrelevant. Yeah. It makes no difference. And she again said they didn't cheat, and it's the thing, the constant swoon thing. It's the need for people to feel like I need to flood these people's social medias and make them feel horrible and isolated, and you know, like they've done something evil because I have this view of them. It's just beyond. Like, I get voicing an opinion. Hello, we have a podcast. We voice our opinions every week, but to make sure that it gets to them, to like go out of your way to say something horribly negative and to pile on, it just feels so unnecessary and weird. And like, it's one of those things where it's like, oof, how would I react to that if that happened to me? It's like you have to turn everything off.
Well, and it's just like the thing that frustrates me about sort of like the social media mob of it all is these people completely disregard the facts that like they themselves are flawed humans as well. Like they act like I could never do this certain thing, even though Sabrina Carpenter didn't even do anything. Like they're like, oh, if I was Constance Wu, I would never like do that. And it's like you're literally spouting off your opinions without thinking right now on Twitter.
And again, like, my feeling is if you want to do that, do it and just write it out. If you should probably start some vowels so they can't Google their or like look up their own name and see it. But to at them is where I have a problem. It's like talk whatever you want. If you will get annoyed, if this bothers you, verbalize it, post it, whatever. But don't make sure that the person that you are posting about sees it, and that for what? Just to ruin their fucking day? Like, I just think that is the bridge too far for me. I don't have a problem with you being like, the Big Brother's fucking racist and I hate these people, but to go on all their social medias and be like, fuck you, I hope you die, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. And the other album that I wanted to talk about is the new Lizzo album, Special. The first time I listened to it, I gotta say, I thought it was cute and nice and like uplifting, but the more and more I listen to it, I think it's such a cohesive body of work, and it's it's kind of in an Emotion-esque way, very consistent throughout. Like, it doesn't take like a natural album dip at the end, which I feel like, albums do, just because, and I mean, this album is like 35 minutes, but even still, I feel like she had a sound that she is building off of with About Damn Time, and there are so many songs on this new album that I really like as well. There's, I think, Birthday Girl is one that I really like off of Special, and Girls, the second single, is good. To Be Loved is a highlight for me, and Birthday Girl, and I think Everybody's Gay. Break Up Twice. There's a lot of good.
Everybody's Gay.
I know.
I gotta listen to this.
That one's good. That one's basically like girls going to the gay club and being like, "Do not worry. Do not feel like people are coming for you, or like someone's going to like touch you inappropriately. Everyone's gay here."
That's so funny.
Everybody's gay.
That
here.
is so good. I need to listen to this album.
It's very good.
I have to say, I haven't even heard the song that's like gonna go #1.
You haven't heard About Damn Time?
I've never heard it.
Wow. Even the
maybe I have like.
You must have heard the like TikTok clip of "In a minute I'm gonna get a little bit of better woman to pump me up."
Nope.
Really?
Never heard it.
Look at him. Who's this grandma over here?
Exactly. How dare I have a podcast and YouTube show where sometimes we talk about music.
Yes. So that album is good. It's growing on me. It's a very fun listen. And I also have to say, I feel like we're not talking about Demi Lovato's new records enough. I feel like the new single Substance is so fucking good. They killed it. They sound so good. And also, if you watch their performance, I think they were on I don't know if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. They were on a Jimmy show performing the song. And those ending ad libs where she goes up and up and up, they are hitting so well. I think this might end up being my favorite Demi album, and I feel like there is not enough people talking about it. I feel like Demi is really giving the pop rock big vocal thing like that we got so used to from Kelly Clarkson. Even it harkens back obviously to their first album. I just want more people to be discussing Substance and Skin of My Teeth and the upcoming Demi record when it gets released, because it's going to be excellent.
What's the album called again? I forgot.
Holy Fuck.
Holy Fuck.
Yes.
Holy Fuck. That's right.
You love to say that. But yes, I think they are doing excellent work, and I want us all to be discussing it. So,
all right, well, we'll discuss it when it comes out. We can do a listening party for that.
We could.
Guys, a listening party renaissance.
Oh, that'll be a lot of work.
This is going to be it.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people before we sign off for the day?
I don't think so, guys. Well, next week we are going to be remote.
Yes.
Because I will be out of town. So we're going to do probably like 2 months ago. We did it where we were separately and sort of like Zoom podcasting.
Yes. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll try to do that live.
Yes.
So stay tuned. Also, happy birthday, Ellen, who told us it was her birthday in the live
happy
chat.
birthday, Ellen. I believe there was someone named Queen who just said that it was their birthday too.
Happy birthday, Queen.
Yes.
I did not see that.
Queen Danny? Yeah, so happy birthday
Happy birthday, everybody.
Yes, everybody, which is very much like the Birthday Girl song. There's a whole part in the bridge where Lizzo's playing, people being like, "Hi, my name's this, I'm a Virgo, and my birthday is like September 20th or whatever it is." So, and she's like, every day is somebody's birthday.
Every day is a day to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Even
true.
when there's crappy stuff in the news, like how we were talking about a little bit.
Yes, yes.
When the Daily Beast just really whacks you in the face, with some hard-hitting journalism.
You gotta
remember that today is somebody's birthday. Let's celebrate. Let's eat cake.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we'll be back next week with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.